Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm DJ. I'm a career track at ENT, and today we have something incredible in front of us, and this is UVI's Falcon. Now, smash that like button if you like VSTs, buying a VST, just one that has the capabilities of going up to 8 oscillators, has midi, has a built-in sequencer inside of it, can granulize like Harmer, can has the arpeggiation power of Dune 2, and wave tables that are on the level or might even be better than, depending on how you feel, better than Serum. And just by far incredible, that has staying power, that will be one of those things that you just don't have to move on next year, like jumping into the next wave. Because arguably enough, the last couple of synthesizers and stuff like that, or soft synths, have came out and they have very little staying power, and that is annoying. So as we go into the sound bank here, and there's a few things that I want to talk about. You can adjust the size of the GUI. I have a small screen, so yeah. And you can actually change the amount or the type of hard drive streaming capabilities, because if you have an SSD, you might want to go very fast, and if you have like a 7200 RPM hard drive or whatever, you can adjust it accordingly. All right, so as you can see, it has my previous banks in here, but it comes with a default Falcon factory preset bank. And yes, so I know how you guys like it, so I'm just gonna go and press one button, and we're gonna enjoy the sound here. There you go. I know you're gonna miss my face, but yeah, crazy. So do one more arpeggiator sound here. One of the things I really enjoy about this, for those who's wondering, it's not very CPU heavy, and just give or take that I'm local recording, so that piles on CPU. This, as you can see, the GUI itself for GUI, or this thing in front of us, for those who don't know what a GUI and all that is, no worries there. So it's very simple to sweep, but good enough and informative enough for you to get what's going on. And you can see like certain things, like you can assign modulation by right clicking on a knob and either MIDI learning or just setting different ones that you want. And that's crazy. It's crazy. So in the video that I did yesterday, I was playing with bells, because bells being my favorite thing. So I love bells, so yeah, it has bells that I will love. Another thing, like I said, it has wavetable sims, where you can actually sweep through them. Obviously, you can start the phase and move the phase, which means you can assign to a host automation, or even just select a specific LFO or something like that you want to do. Assign a micro. And another thing I wanted to talk about is that it has Spark Verb and Relayer within this. I own Relayer. That's actually how I got introduced to UVI, is through Relayer and its amazing delays capabilities. So yeah, they earn a fan for life. So yeah, other things like granulizing, is pretty cool, and they have some pretty good examples. Both non-musical and musical, so some cool. I mean, it's unbelievable how they have 3 different kinds of samplers in here. Holy God, I didn't even see that last night. And it just like last night I played with this all the way up until like 3 in the morning, and I'm a early bird type person. And the sounds just kept on coming. If I felt like the more I dove into it, just from a patch purpose, that it actually ended up getting better and better. Like I felt like it got better. Like it's like bridging. To me, it's bridging. Like it's bridging the gap between like analog and versus digital, and to making you feel like, hey, I don't care about that anymore, because it sounds incredible. And that's usually just how you should. That's actually how you should just look at music in general. If it sounds good, it is good. But you have those people that want to make those arguments. But pads just as good as you would expect. I mean, as you see, I'm playing a lot of chords, a couple of fifths and whatnot. And sometimes when you play a fifth and it has a lot of voices, a lot of unison voices, you know what happens. The CPU starts acting crazy. Yeah, that sounds very interesting. Harp scratch resonance. And it is. Yeah. Another thing that I'm really impressed about this is it seems like it's a massive improvement to their workstation, which is just like their independent kind of like free, like if it was compare apples to oranges or whatever, and say Contact 5 free player versus like workstation or whatever workstation, them those two being free, and this is like a graduation from like the loading times, as you can see. And man, I just keep on being astonished by the sounds or whatnot. And I'm not even cracking the surface here. And it's interesting enough, I will be going and doing like full tutorials and stuff like that on how to make sounds in this, once I really get fully equipped in learning this. So no frets there. I just didn't want to do it in the review, but this gets like 4 thumbs up. So and we're in like sub drones, but there's actually some very interesting sub drones I was messing with. And that's a great example of like how the eight, where you can do 8 oscillators or whatnot. So, you know, FM synthesis. This is crazy. Wow. And all types of wavetables, man. Like probably like double the amount of what in the heck? Do you see this? Oh my gosh. You can load images in here. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. But yeah, like double the amount that Serum has, you know, much kind of more comprehensive if I want to actually, be picky about it, because you could assign a modulation just as simple as this, and assign like external voices, new LFO, key group, and there you go. It's just that fast. As you can see, the modulation, you can play with it with the MSEG, which is the multi-segment envelope graphics. So if you're just going from Serum to here, and you kind of feel like this would be missing that. Nope, they did that as well. And I hate to be like very, very giddy, because that sounds like very strange, but man, like you can't help to feel that way when you mess with something of this lineage here. Didn't even come close. But yeah, that's basically about it. That's all I want to really just touch up on. There's some other presets that I really missed out on that I was trying to get to. And, it's from experimental. What was this again? Let you see the arpeggiation power some more. This is the one. Okay, I messed that totally up. But I was in here playing around. And I'm just gonna close it out with this. As you can see right here, you can actually, split your keys and add and select your keys at will and make like splits. Very, very much so like my favorite outboard gear or whatever, or analog synth, which was the TR rack. For those who don't know what the core Trinity rack is, but yeah. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments or questions about this, man, please ask, because this is awesome. And, once again, I'm going to be doing more tutorials for this. Actually, you can go to UVI, and I'll have the link in the description box. You can go to UVI and learn more about this. Dan Wardell actually did, the great Dan Wardell did a beautiful video on just showing the synthesis in general. You probably get lost in his beautiful voice before you actually learn anything, but, he has great, emphatic, awesome tutorials on UVI's channel on YouTube. So, check those out. And, then you'll have my sensational, goofy, nerdy voice to come back to on my channel and, learn some more stuff, because there's other stuff that I was learning last night that is great. And then once again, this comes with Spark, Verb, and Relayer. It's built into Falcon, but those are sold separately on the website. And once again, I already have Relayer, so I'm cool. And yeah, it's awesome. This is awesome, and the price and all of that will be in the description box. So I'm DJ McCree. I appreciate you, UVI, for allowing me to check this out, and thank you guys for your time. And I am out.